Hello and welcome to our video lesson. I catched a cold and yesterday I spent the whole day in bed. I covered my feet with blanket and drank lemon tea. But actually, I'm okay. There is something wrong in the sentences that I told you. You might probably understood the meaning of the sentences, but your audio perception told you that there is something strange, there is something unusual, there is something wrong. So today we are going to talk about overgeneralization in a language learning. But first of all, we have to understand what is overgeneralization itself. Overgeneralization as a word consists of two parts, over and generalization. Taking something specific and applying it more broadly is making a generalization. And over is a prefix which means more than usual or too much. In simply word, you make specific say general in the exaggerated form. The term overgeneralization is mostly used in connection with the language acquisition. By children, when they start to speak their native language L1 to L1, as well as the learners when they start to learn a foreign language. They have a knowledge of their native language L1 and they start to learn their target language L2. Just imagine you are a child and your mom all the time tells you, pick up your toys. Look at this cat. Let's read books instead of watching cartoons. Find your socks. Put all pillows back on the sofa. And what do you hear? Cartoons, books, toys, pillows, cats, socks. And you may conclude that to make from one book two books, you just have to add grammatical inflection S to the end of that word. And that's it. And then you are sitting in the garden with your mom and you are surprisingly shout, "Oh, mommy, I see two mouses." Let's look to our example. I see two mouses. So here is a very example of overgeneralization. So here you overgeneralize morphological rules about the forming of plural form of the noun. But you are children and you maybe do not know that there are nouns that have a different way of forming plurals. It must be two mice. And now imagine that you are a learner and you are learning English language. And you have recently learned how to say that you did something in the past. The only thing you have to do is to take a word that you know and add a grammatical inflection ed. And voila! Let's look to our example. I catched a cold yesterday. I spent the whole day in bed. I covered my feet with blanket. I drank lemon tea. So, out of these four verbs, only one is correct. Here actually must be caught. Here must be spent. Here must be drank. Why it happens? You might probably haven't learned yet that some verbs are irregular and they have different forms of making past tenses. So, overgeneralization is just a mistake that can be observed in the early stage of language learning. It's not a nightmare. It happens when you just unconsciously overgeneralize all rules that you have learned. But the further you move on the stairs of education, the less you will meet overgeneralization. So don't be afraid of making mistakes. Understand them, and try to avoid them. Thank you for watching. See you next lesson.